like your choice in hoodie. I mean, I didn't know it was hoodie
It
night.
was it was it was intentional. It's Fireside Chat. This is the first official Fireside Chat. The last one was a nice concept and idea. You're supposed to have a candle, you know, for Fireside
Handle.
Chat.
I wasn't I wasn't made privy to these rules.
You know what I should
Oh,
do? Like send a candle, right? And be like, yo, that's how you know it's Fireside Chat. It's official, right?
it just shows
So
up. Shows
right.
up. It's your turn.
So this is just your turn, right? Uh so besides that, right? Obviously, shout out to everyone in the chat. Sis, as usual, thank you for being here.
What up, chat?
Chavaris, right? Main moderator. Appreciate you every time coming here and moderating because before there was a lot of knuckleheads because it's just open, right? It's open. It does what it does. And you got a lot of people coming
Yeah,
on that have negativity and nothing else to say. But that's the way
I
it
thought it
works
was
then.
necessary. Yeah, because stupid's the stupid, and they can't help but be stupid.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Enough said
that's
about
the.
that,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
Bigly, right? But like we were talking today, and like I told you, I had this idea while I was in the shower, right? When I was thinking about you in the shower, and part of the hey yo, my guy, hey yo,
It's too
so
much. It's too
too much.
much.
No, I said it's not enough. Well, the point was right. The point was that we were being naturally being silly, but about showing you what kind of like how that kind of conversations with men just kind of go. It's so much that we see online today is just like, yo, men, you don't hold each other accountable. You guys don't really talk. You don't conversate. You don't communicate. All the verbiage, all the lexicon, all the things, all the time.
hmm hmm
And
We don't. We definitely don't check in on each other and make
we
sure
definitely don't check in each other at all,
we don't do that.
right?
No,
That doesn't happen. Hasn't been happening for decades now, right? That
no,
doesn't
no,
happen. So
not at all.
I thought it'd be a good idea, especially for the first fireside chat, just for us to talk, right? Just like we normally riff and kind of go back and forth. And I was like, I don't have to. And this is the beauty of it, right? We don't got to prepare, right? We don't got to like, oh, let me get my notes together. Let me see. Let me talk about X, Y, and Z.
On eggshells right now. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Just so you know,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
special request. And I was like, you know what?
Don't
It's
worry.
not. It's not too much.
Don't worry. I'll guide you in, right?
Yeah, you're not. You're not helping your case on that video you posted earlier, where the chick was like, "You guys get together. You just do all your gay stuff." It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
yo,
we. It's not like women don't have their inside lesbian jokes all the time. We do
oh,
all the time,
absolutely,
all the time, right?
absolutely.
So
Come on,
we're not
come on.
saying like we're in college and we're trying stuff on each other. Did you see that clip? I think you liked a couple of things like on Instagram. Premium Tie, he's got the greatest sound effects, all that. But it was what Charlie Sheen was talking about dudes doing gay stuff, and he made it seem like, yo, this is regular. This is regular. Yeah, in college, we just no butt stuff. But it was like, dog, like
Oh,
not all of us are
it's
subscribing to what you're talking about.
it's scary. It's the I'll without getting too, I guess, demographic specific.
Yeah,
The other side views that stuff as
it's very
just
normal, very
boys being
normal,
boys,
right?
and
But like the
as
Greeks
an
of
adult,
old,
I found this out.
like the Greeks of old. But good segue because we come from similar backgrounds, but we took different paths and still ended up
hmm
very similar places, right? Uh, I met you when I was a wee lad, 20, 21 years old, right?
hmm
Um, and I had to go and train you, right? When you came.
Yep. Oh, wait. Feed. Somebody cut the feed. What happened? Oh no, my worst fear has come to light.
Yeah, it kicked me
Okay.
out. It just kicked me out. It didn't like what I was saying. Yeah, I think my boy texted me and that happened. Just so like maybe the stream needs to catch up. But uh,
hmm
working good old Tissa, and I had to come in and like, yo, here's this guy. I'm part time. Here you go, train your full time replacement. And I was just like, this can't be
Bro, there
right.
was so much
This
hate. There was
This
so
can't be
much
me.
hate.
Rightfully so. I'm sitting there slaving away part time, pretending to be full time. Here you come in, right? Just full time. Just
Not
guy, just
beautiful couple.
we're just right, yeah. Just full time. He's like, wait, I want that, right? And you, oh no, train this guy. Do everything you can do. Do
Mhm.
everything you can do, and we'll see what we can see. So listen. Oh, but it was in the kind of rare, sort of super dope moments. Um,
Yeah, because we both blurted out like almost immediately blurted out. And honestly, I didn't really even know that I was technically a blurred, but
mhm.
you don't know what you don't know
Don't you know?
until you find your people, and then you realize I am what I am. I'm a
Right,
blurred. It is
right.
what it is.
And then it's we were like originally right into the anime before it was cool, before anyone had
Exactly.
anything to say, before anyone came and made it seem like, yo, this is what it is, blah 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 blah, right? All this nonsense.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Just don't mind the comments. Just pay
Just
no
don't mind the
mind.
comments, right? Just don't mind the comments. I love the backstory, the instant backstory about our lives. But like I said, in the segue, I went to college, right? Very
Mhm.
academia heavy. And
I
I
did not.
found some of your insights, even though that wasn't the direction you went in, some of your insights into just the sort of psyche, how people are, just your observations has always put me like on the back foot, right? Even I'm always just kind of blown away, sort of like amazed, like, wow, you know, this is what this type of insight doesn't
Mhm.
require you necessarily have to go the academia route. And we've met some of the smartest people, that never saw set foot inside college. And I've met some of the people greatest at
Facts.
right memorization, uh, regurgitation, just like yo, blah 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 blah. This is what we did. This is what we did. So one of those things it's we put so much emphasis today like you have to go to college because this is going to turn around and get you this sort of monumental amount of money, but
Hmm.
and we had the stats, we had the data, we had all that stuff to back it up back then. But now what we're seeing is people saddle with that type of debt. So
And no,
we're in this weird millennial group, right, where we're looking and we see people complaining about the economy, people complaining about jobs, not having them. Yet we're like, yo, I'm not in that. I'm not experiencing that. One, I went to college, but my degree meant nothing in terms of what I'm doing now. You didn't need it, but we're still kind of in the same sort of space.
right, right.
Um, so coming sometimes from different ways of looking at it. When something as simple as student loan forgiveness, you see like this dichotomy, this sort of divide where people like, yo, I want that sort of handout, I want that help, I need that help because the things, the decisions I've made before I was too young to understand that. I'm tying this in. Give me a
There's,
second, right?
there's, there- there's that. There's
Yeah,
that. I also,
and
I also see it as like, I'm not gonna derail you too much. I see it as also like, I followed the blueprint that society gave me and told me to go the path that I was told to go on, and it
yeah,
ended up being fruitless, right? Absolutely fruitless. So if you're offering me a way out from what you've essentially led me under, I'm
yeah,
gonna take it. I'm actually gonna beg for it. Like, hey, look, I followed the path. You guys told me get a degree, get a great job. I got a degree, don't have a job.
yeah.
I'm gonna need that relief back for following the path that I was told to follow. So I see where the need for that relief comes from.
Right. Especially when you're that young and you have no real idea of credit and money,
Um,
right? This is me landing the plane right now, right? And understanding there's different ways for you to skin a cat, different ways for you to get your money together. And we back in our day, we reinvented or we had they had to make up rules for the amount of overtime you, me, Mark were doing, where we were definitely violating a lot of
well, well,
laws before
I
they
was
understood what that was.
we were getting it right, but you, my good man, just took that to a whole different stratosphere, if not different cosmos. Like I'm not gonna say that I wasn't grinding and getting it. I'm not gonna say that Mark wasn't grinding because there was that. And three of us together were like three-headed monster. But
Yeah,
once the paths started to diverge and Mark was over here and I was over there and you
yeah,
was just in your terminal dolo and you well what was that? Whatever year that was. I want to say it was like maybe '05 or '06. One of these years where you went ham on the OT
yeah,
and you
yeah.
worked more. What did you work like?
This is
Almost
two
80 hours of
twenty.
overtime?
It was like I got up to 225 in those 2 weeks. It was 225. I remember that
225 hours in two
I remember
weeks.
the terminal manager coming and saying, "Yo, did you go
That's
home?" I said, "What you mean by home? What you mean by home?"
home is a
Right?
concept.
Home's a concept. Home's a
It's a
construct,
state of
right?
state of consciousness.
Right.
I'm home right now.
Right.
I'm
It's Grand
home.
Horizon.
I'm
Yeah,
home
yeah, yeah. I'm
right.
home right now. But understanding that, and one of the things that started to like became obvious, that separation from how people normally sort of move. And we were looking and we were putting in the time to the point of other people. Every time it was, it's time to get those W-2s, people would come together and be like, "Yo, how much did you make? How much did you make?" And I remember
Hmm.
being part time and making something like 60,000. And I remember Jared,
More than a full
what,
time.
right, right. They were looking like eyes open, right? And they will always be about, yo, it doesn't make sense you do that much because they're going to take it in taxes. But I didn't understand shit about taxes. I was just thinking it's more than I got.
Hmm.
Right
Hmm.
here, it's more than I got. Yo, shout out to what was that? Wayne Adams. Thank you for subscribing. Listen, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. We're just trying to push this out to YouTube, so YouTube knows that we're here doing stuff like this. And is that another go? Yeah. Lyrically, it's hard to beat, especially if you take the color skin. But we're gonna get to stuff like that later. Just follow along. So one of the things that it helped me understand is the separation, how much people are willing to put in for their goals. Like you were telling me about that young man that you've been helping recently,
Hmm.
and given how I
Hmm.
started the stream on those such jokes, and put that to the side. One of
Yeah,
the things
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah, like
Flesh
we
that thought
talked
out better.
right, yeah, like we talked about earlier. Um, there's a difference in this generation between Gen Z and millennials and baby boomers as you go up, and it seems like the what we've done, and this is what I want to take sort of maybe we should taking a bit of blame for it because we pioneered the internet, right? We created the rules, right? The
Yeah,
LOL.
yeah.
We decided that was the thing, right? We made the
Hmm.
shorthand. We decided the internet was going to be a place for the worst of our ideals and
Yeah,
behaviors.
yeah.
We are going to put that
Just word vomit, thought vomit. Actually, not even
there.
word vomit, just thought vomit.
So if you, I just one of the things I wanted to get into today was just about right, how we both lost our fathers and how that sort of impacts and changes how we move today. The things.
Hmm. There goes the stream again. I guess I should freeze whenever this happens. So y'all think it's like both of us is pros.
Listen, just roll with me. Yeah, for whatever reason, YouTube does not like running on my phone. Every time it does that, I'm gonna jump back in. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, like the live, even when it jumps in and out. But I wanted to get into like, all right, we how the loss of our fathers has sort of changed
Hmm.
how we look and how we move and how we try to sort of give back and help. But do we understand the difference, right? Do we understand the difference in how that actually looks like?
Do we understand the difference in how it looks? Like
So
elaborate.
when you were talking about the gentleman you have, like we were talking about earlier, um,
Hmm.
about
Just
how
for
you help,
reference,
right?
because
Give the
for those who
backstory.
are right. So one day I'm heading home. I'm running low on gas. I'm thinking lazily. I'm thinking I'm gonna go get gas the next day. Instead, I decided to stop and get gas. kid was walking out of the store at the gasoline at the gas station, and just asked if he could bum a ride. It's like probably like 20 degrees outside, windy as hell. And he's like, I live like maybe 2 miles down the way. I've been drinking. I could walk home, but it's freezing out here, my guy. Like, if you can do me a solid, whatever. Apprehensively, I eventually agree. Like, all right, I'll give you a
Yeah.
ride. Just so y'all know, I was holding. I had no reason to be worried.
I watch a
And
lot of Dateline, so I'd be worried all
hey, hey, man was gonna catch some hot ones, and we ain't talking about chicken if he decided to do something. Um, but along the ride, he just starts kind of like talking to me about, he's a young fella. He's lost his way in life. He don't know which way is up. And, he lost his father and he was trying to just figure himself out, and he asked me if I could, just, kind of chat with him, talk with him for a minute, kind of like in a light way, be a mentor and, just someone who could hear him out when he needed to talk. And thus, and for like the last couple of months, I've been that. I've been there for him in times where he needed assistance with different things, or even just bounce thoughts off or ideas off me. So that's that. Without getting into too much more detail about all of it. But back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay.
so in terms of the advice, we had when we were 25, right?
Hmm.
The level of maturity that was kind of required for us in our generation, in our life, versus what you see today.
Mm. I don't know. So I feel like not being necessarily in contact or in circles of children that or young men and women that age in the 20s or younger, there isn't seemingly a sense of community amongst friends. You know, yes, people check in, yes, people text and all that stuff like that, but that support system that is
Mhm.
so important. Like when my pops passed away, this man was right there, like the whole time as my rock to help support me through it because I had to be a rock for my family who was going through it. Um, I won't say from the from the my peers, my coworkers who are young, a lot of them are loners,
Yeah,
in their own right. They have people who they know, they have people who they hang out with, but they don't have people who they like really confide in that way. And I think social media, without getting into a broader conversation, has stolen that sense of community
yeah,
from the next generation because they're not used to, I guess, physically present community. They're used to phones, you know, who can I reach out to? And that is not the same connection of someone being physically in your house and being like, hey, whatever you need, I got
yeah. The
you, you know?
amount of uh, random times you've driven 5 hours, right, just to check on me, like that. That's missing because it's so much easier to jump on the phone, send an email, send a text. You don't have to be in the room to play GoldenEye together, right? You don't, you can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can just hook it up and then boom, you could be across the world getting your ass whipped by Koreans. Um,
Or by your best friend.
or by your best friend, right? But it's
I made
something
that mistake
different.
once. It was one time thing I did, and I never did it again.
It's something different when you guys are right, and again, we grew up, I think, in that perfect sort of time where they just had four players, four controllers hooked up, and you shoulder to shoulder in the room, right? And then when you
Right,
guys got,
right,
we guys got tired of that. It was like, yo, let's go outside. Let's go, at
right.
the park.
Let's go walk to the store together.
Let's go walk. Yeah, that was a critical thing that one could not say no to. Right? Hey, let's walk me to the store. And that was like the beginnings, I think, of those quick therapeutic sessions. All
Hmm.
right, this is kind of like
Hmm.
been on my mind. And so the overarching goal of this is like, hey, men, we communicate, we talk. It just because sometimes you think it looks like grunts and nods doesn't mean it doesn't happen, right? Doesn't mean it's not ongoing.
Right,
It's just like, yo, this
right.
is how we sort of move. This is the nonverbal communication, sometimes the silent air, just sitting, the companionable silence, just being around makes the
Hmm.
difference. Knowing, right? Knowing I've got a trap card I can activate and I can call in reinforcements at whatever time. That is something special. But it's hard to televise that, right? It doesn't fit
Hmm.
well in a
Right.
5 to 7 second, little
No,
TikTok, Instagram
look,
reel.
those funny. I mean, I think we've probably all seen them. Those little like that goofy reel where like how guys end up being friends. Like one day you walking down the street, see a cat,
So,
then
right.
another two or three other times, what up, and maybe like a passing dap. Then you pass by another time. Hey, my dude, what's good with you? Or
Yeah.
the little peeps of words. Next thing you know, y'all chopping it up. Y'all
And you,
acting like y'all been knowing each other for years.
right, and
It's
again,
just,
you're right.
just, it's just,
The
it's built on mutual respect and familiarity, and
Yeah,
then not all these. I don't want to necessarily criticize how women become friends because I really don't know, but it's not necessarily based on a lot of, I guess, intrusive questioning, like, oh, well, what about this and what about that? Hey, look, you seem cool. You're gonna tell me whatever you're gonna tell me, and I
yeah.
accept on face value what you feel like sharing with me, whatever you share. Hey, all right, man's telling me something crazy. I'm not gonna ask more questions. I sound like an interrogator. I'm not gonna ask like more. Just tell you, take what you're telling me.
Right. And also, I probably don't need all the small details, right?
Maybe if
Right.
details
Oh my
unnecessary.
God, he doesn't know my birthday. Nah, that's not overarching important to your
Right,
motivations in
right.
life. Like, um, and in terms of sometimes how guys meet, the Full Metal Alchemist when they come in and have the pose off, right? Oh, right, yeah. And then it's just a handshake. It's just like a twinkle in the eye. It's like, all right, man,
Like,
respect.
yeah,
Yeah, man,
respect.
respect,
Mm.
right? And you would look at that from the outside looking in and say, like, what just happened? Right. And I think
Right,
they did a
right.
perfect job in showcasing that. Yeah, sometimes this is what it is for them. Right.
That's
It's
it.
sometimes it's
That's
that
it.
simple. Hey,
There's like the respect resonates. It's like, psh, all right, you cool, you
right.
cool.
Yeah. And to the point, even back then, we became sort of, I mean, it doesn't help that allegation, right? Synonymous, right? It was like, it was Blair and Easy, right? It was never just, if you saw one, where's the other one? Oh, he's on break.
Yeah,
He must be on break. Yeah. Um, but
bro. Like
to
we
me,
were, which is also doesn't beat the allegations. We
that's
were
fine.
more synonymous than me and the woman who I was dating at the time.
Yeah. Right. Where you would
More
be off
so.
somewhere and she'd come to me and say, where's my man? I was like, right. But to me, that's what it's not, and it's not about, right, that we just always sort of get along. There's is natural, there's gonna be friction, there's gonna be tension, but is over the overarching thing where we like there's still the intention that you remember that's still most important with one another. And
Hmm. Hmm.
that sort of carries the day. And again, just kind of reiterating the point, I think, and this is from my time on YouTube and sort of having to swim in all the social media, the opinions, the ideas, the democracy of opinion, which I don't think anyone was ever meant to really experience in totality. But you get inundated with a certain idea, and it becomes almost this female way, this female lens of how interactions are supposed to go. If you
Hmm.
don't do it this way, it's weird, right? Or I mean, it's literally that's the term they'll often use. You're weird, but to the point where I think part of the difference is the way Gen Z and the newer Gen A, how they sort of look at things often becomes very much from the performative sort of side.
Mm.
You go on
Yes,
like you don't go on vacation to relax, to explore, to experience the fine dining of this culture. No, you go so you can get the
you go to make a
Instagrammable moments.
right. You make a lookbook while you're on
Yeah,
vacation.
right, right. You got to hit these things, forgetting
Hmm.
that the whole point of the vacation is one to get away from the normal routine and to actually bond closer together. It's just all right. We got to
Right.
hit this. I got to do this, and then you'll spend right. And I've done that in the past where you end up spending a majority of your time trying to take the proper photos of someone rather
Like
than enjoying.
that is never fun. But I was gonna say like how many people go to say Marrakesh to try to get the pictures with the blimps? I mean
Yes.
not the blimps, the hot air
Uh,
balloons in the
yeah.
background. Instead of maybe just enjoying, I've never been, just
Yeah.
full disclaimer. But you're not necessarily enjoying the things that the city of Marrakesh has to offer.
Yeah.
But you're spending hours in a line trying to get to a platform where you can take this photo with all the blimps. How about you just go, I don't know, jump in a hot air balloon? That would be a little unique photo to take, right? In a hot air balloon surrounded by hot air balloons would probably be hotter than standing on a landing
Yeah.
with a bunch of hot air balloons in the background.
Right. And then you can
You
always,
know, you
when you
get
get
to
on the ground, accost someone, say, "Send me that photo," and pretend like it took
right,
it. We on Instagram, we're not gonna know, right? We're just gonna be like, "Oh,
bro.
it's dope,"
No,
and then it's gonna go into my saved, and then it's, "Hey, we should do this next." What I had, my job. I travel. I went to Santorini, and
hmm
this
hmm
was a solo adventure. Right, this is me, hills, camera equipment, gelato, right, sun right here, getting hot,
side
hot,
quest.
right, side quest. And I got some fantastic photos, but when you zoom in, it's full of people. It's full of everyone trying to capture that same sunset, forgetting now that no one's enjoying the sunset, no one's enjoying the colors.
Mm,
It's just I've got to do this and angle it and get it the right way. Where now we've shrunken the world, but in the sense of it's just so I can show out and show off to people. It's
yeah,
not about at all at this point saying, let me explore the wonders of the world. I just kind of want to do this. I want to show out. I want to let people know.
new pics for my Tinder profile.
It- right. So now I can tell that dude he's not cultured, right? But in the same
Well,
token, when we were when we were in New York, how many people did we meet that never even went as far as Jersey?
bro,
Right? You
never
never left your borough,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Like I mean, I think when I started with Tessa, you
So,
know, no free shout outs, no free shout outs.
right.
When I first started with them, one of the first things that I started to do, like once a year or like maybe semi-annually, go rent a car, drive down to Maryland, go visit my aunt, get out of the
Yeah.
city, go do
Right.
something outside of the city. I spend every day of my waking life in the city on trains and all that wonderful stuff. Go rent a
Who's the
car, go
who's the
drive
aunt
somewhere.
with the dope huge house that had all the was it the Airwick or the Glade, the ones that were timed that were just
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah.
that was
Those are the good days.
a simple day. Right? It was a simple
Good
day.
days.
It's
Good
like, man,
days.
that sounds great. It's
To
huge,
live
huge house.
up in Delaware nowadays. But yeah,
She got the
but
same
yeah,
scented, you
probably,
doors.
probably I gotta.
Yeah,
I've seen her. She comes down this way to visit because she got family not too far from me. But I as if I'm not family. But
right.
she has.
I don't want to see you. Right? No one want to see you but me. Relax.
Well, yeah, no, I haven't been up to her place in Delaware. Yeah, no, get out a bit, stretch your legs. Don't be so stuck in one place thinking that you know and understand the world. Is it? That's all for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I
My sister popping in. Uh, always got to be always pause and shout out to my sister. Yeah, shout out to Prime. Appreciate you stopping in. I don't know if you had
right.
extra Bible study today. She couldn't join us on yesterday's live, but
Mm,
all is forgiven. All is forgiven.
got the auxiliary live though.
Hmm. But this is something that an idea or concept that came to me.
Imagine.
I think this was couple lives ago. I'm trying to get more consistent with them, but it was one of those things that if you don't know, if you need help with something, people often want to help you, but when you don't talk, where you don't make it obvious, or you don't make it very clear how people can support you.
Hmm.
We get caught up in this space where we're thinking, yo, you don't care about me, you don't. So like when my father died, I didn't know how to ask, and I continue to say that I was so blessed because I had people routinely checking in on me. I had siblings, going through the exact same thing at the exact same time as me. I had you who already went through this, right, and were kind of
Hmm.
proof positive that things get better. And then the timing of the way my father passed was sort of amazing to me. But you're gonna get a lot of heat on this
Yeah,
one. You're gonna get a lot of heat on this one, bro.
man.
When right.
Hey, I
Was
mean,
it
we
was
had a
it
lot
was
going
it
on that day. It was
was it
very interesting.
Miami? Was it Miami? Where
We were in Miami. It was
Miami,
Miami.
right? It was my jammy, right? It was my jammy, your wedding, right? Your
Yeah.
wedding,
Yeah.
right?
Or
And
what
it's
in Miami.
right,
Best
yeah,
man, by the
right.
way.
Best man,
Best
right? Best
man.
man, right?
Well
Right.
earned.
Right. And if you didn't know, he designed the logo for my real estate
It's
company.
just
Right.
not yip that.
Lore,
Yep.
that's lore.
Yep.
That's lore. If you flip the other side of the, the X-Men card, you could read the bio. You see all that right there. Right. So I'm there, best man speech. It's best man speech time, right? And I'm
Killed it, by the
I'm
way.
I'm not lying when I say I rocked it. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I rocked it. That was the
Which is
best
weird
best
that
man speech.
you asked somebody to stand up there with you as if like
He
you
was
didn't
nervous.
have it in hand.
He was
Huh?
nervous. He was also like it was like a co-best man thing, and he was just like, "Yo, I can't talk." Right? Nick was like,
But
"I
you were the
can't."
best man.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
your
But
co-best
yeah,
man. I
nah,
mean,
nah, nah. But he wanted. It was important. He was there, right? It was
okay,
important to
okay,
you,
yeah.
right? And he was like, "Yo, I can't." I was like, "Yo, come up with me." Right? We're representing different phases of this man's life.
Fair.
I can't
Got
talk. I said, "You're gonna do that. Just stand here and look good." Right? And then I gave
you. Then
probably again.
proceeded to kill. I think you might have pulled a tear from Mom Deuce, by the way.
I mean, if there, the fact that there were dry eyes in there bothered me, right? absolutely, absolutely bothered me, right? And it was for those of you that were not there, all of you, right? It was the understanding that this man is now married, and there's there's a relinquishment of sort of these duties where I'm feeling like I was supposed to take care of him in these ways. This is now her duty, right? And I remember saying to her, like, I am relieved,
Yeah,
right? At the end. And that's when people were like, what? Oh, this nigga likes words, right?
that joint that was heavy, by the
That
way.
was heavy, right?
Oh,
I'm
oh,
relieved,
oh.
right? So my father was very in the Nigerian community, very famous for having those talks. He would come up there, give him the mic, and he would just bop, 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 bop. He would go. People were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was that guy. So I finished the speech. Right? People like, dog, man. I thought I understood English. Man, what happened? Right? I sit down. My brother calls me. Right? I sit down. Maybe 5 minutes in down. My brother calls me. Said, "Pops passed away.
It
Pops
was,
passed away."
it was a high and there was a
Yeah, and it was and
immediate
it
low.
was that low was buoyed by the fact that I know I just did a thing that he would be proud of, a thing that he's always been a part of, a thing that he's always done. The ability to get there in front of people and just speak, just talk, just be able to communicate, have your words. That is something I picked up. There's tons of lessons, you pick up from your father when you just observe it, you just look. That was one of those things I always wanted to emulate from him. And then getting this opportunity to do this on this scene in my jammy, right? At your
Mhm,
wedding.
mhm.
And then also then your sister-in-law goes into labor. Right? Right?
Bruh, so
Right.
many things on that night.
So many things
That was
in one night, right? In
an
one night.
amazing wedding. And
It,
I don't say it with any kind of like hubris or like, oh yeah, my wedding was the best.
yeah,
There was that was a night. That was a hell of a night.
it was
Um, but yeah.
just impactful, right? And that was
Hmm.
probably the first band-aid I had at dealing with my father's like passing. Just knowing in the context and the way it happened. made me feel like, okay, you don't got to crash out, right? This won't be the end of the thing. Um, but over, in the subsequent times, subsequent weeks, it was this weird phenomenon where I'd be down in the dumps, right? I'm sitting on the couch and I would just lose time, right? Time just
Yeah.
it's morning
Uh,
now it's evening. I'm like, what happened, right?
mm-hmm.
I
Uh,
don't right. I'm on autopilot. I'm not right. If if this is like if this is a Gundam Wing Zero's taking over and doing all the stuff it's got to do,
yeah.
and I'm just like, huh? I wake up and I'm like, oh, we did all that. Just confused. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm showing up to work.
Just
I'm
made it
telling
a
people
whole
ahead of
planet, my
time.
guy.
Right. I'm telling people ahead of time, like, listen, this has happened. I couldn't stay home because I was just getting in my thoughts. But if you see me
Hmm.
acting a little weird, you know, check on me. But you guys, you, Mark, Dre, you guys would call me. It was like you guys were on some weird rotation. You'd call me, and I had the wherewithal to understand. I need to talk about this. I need to get this stuff out that I'm feeling. And I'll have
Hmm.
this long 2, 3 hour conversation with you. And I was like, oh, I actually feel better. Then the next day, I was like, man, I feel like shit. I feel like shit. Mark would call. I said, shit, I gotta repeat the same thing.
You ain't gotta repeat it, but
Right.
get whatever's weighing you down. Get it off.
But I understood the value in repeating it. So I was like, "Right, let me repeat it.
Hmm.
Let me let me do it again. Right. And then 2 days later, I'm like, all right,
Cathartic.
down and here we go. Got to do it again. Dre calls. Now I'm just like, ah, 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 ah. So it helped me get out of that funk and stop looking at it in a sense of just loss. And I understand that the process is very different for people.
Hmm.
So, in your own words, right? How did you cope? How did you deal?
So the I want to say like the year following my father's passing, like me and my mom, we affectionately called it like the year of no birthdays, right? Pretty much signifying that there was nothing celebrated in the wake of such a loss, right? No birthdays are celebrated. Christmas is not the same. Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
any kind of holidays that you once held dear are now they're just trivial. The year of no birthdays, that fog that any of us would end up in, um, ends up being like a dominant force. Um, I regularly checked on you because in the days, months after my father's passing, part of the reason why we grinded so hard on OT is because my focus was in that. I didn't I didn't grieve immediately
yeah,
because unfortunately, like I kind of felt like I didn't have the opportunity. My mom was shaken and broken. My brother was shaken and broken. But in that time of not being able to fall apart and grieve, it actually kind of somehow like focused and honed a part of me that made me more, I guess, goal oriented in that time. And it's easy. Most people do it, when they lose somebody, just gonna work. Just go back to work as soon as possible.
yeah,
And I did that, but I had you there with me, right? Had Mark. Mark was in the stratosphere. We used to
yeah,
go hit the weights after work if we didn't pull, doubles and stuff like that. Regularly checking in on my mom and my brother. And what I was something that I actually shared with the young fellow who I've been lightly mentoring was I made it my focus to live a life that my dad would be proud of. Right? You're not going to be here for it. I want to live the most respectable, worthwhile life that any time that I make an achievement, it's okay that I would be sad that you weren't there,
yeah,
you know, because at least I'm achieving it, right? And you're always in my thoughts. I wouldn't want to have a life that was just something I can't even like think the words of just a undesirable life. nothing to be proud of, nothing to write home about, nothing to miss
Yeah,
your father over because, well, you ain't doing
you
nothing
ain't
with your
doing
life,
you ain't
no
doing
way.
anything, right?
Right. Right. I've accomplished nothing, so there's nothing that I can miss you about. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
I've done nothing again today, Dad. Dang it, I miss you. Like,
you, you don't want there to be that reckoning when you guys finally reunite and you're like, you
right.
shit.
Damn, I thought I raised you better than this. I really got to reassess what the hell I was doing. Like,
Like,
well, who are
bro,
you?
real talk, you shit.
Right. You
Like,
ain't do nothing for your moms, for your brother. You ain't do nothing for nobody. You ain't
I
do
don't want
nothing for you.
I don't want to use the word disappointed, but they fit. Like
Yeah.
they fit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So that's really what guided me. Obviously, I am not hyper religious, but I had my ups and downs with religion after then. I feel like I became more lucid at times about
Mm,
the world in general. It's interesting when you have both your parents, which honestly, just even saying that is not a common thing. Most people nowadays don't have both their parents
yeah,
through through into their 20s, which is wild. I realized a long time ago I was not the average kid because
yeah.
the average kids I went to school with had one or the other, but
Hmm.
never really both. But dang, I lost my train of thought there. So you take back over because I lost my train of thought. I'll start rambling.
Well, I mean, for a second, just talk about Mama Murph. The one of the sweetest voice ever, right?
Oh
Ever.
yeah,
And
oh
I
yeah,
remember the first time I came over to the spot in Brooklyn, and she just immediately looked at me, adopted me, put me to work, just put me to work, right? And it was like this, in, like this warm feeling. It was like, man, you can't. It felt like, yeah, you guys were supposed to meet. You're supposed to do all this. And again, this not does not help us beating the allegations, right?
uh,
At all.
allegations, allegations, man.
Allegations, right?
I
But
ain't got no broke back.
fun fact. First time I ever saw Most Def, right? I was on way to your father's funeral, right? Got off the G train. Probably one of oh, second time in my life I was on probably on the G train. Maybe I was on G train 3 times in my life. Got on he was crossing the street. I was like, oh shit, it's Most Def. And then another time I saw him at the United side of in Terminal 7, right? The
Hmm.
baggage
Hmm.
outside. Just walked up with some shorty. Just like, Most Def, right? I don't want to say, yo, I saw you before. Not really. Um, but then I got a chance later. I saw him in Paris in the airport. Man, I said, man, enough.
Let me talk to this man.
Let me talk to Yassine Bey, right? He's Yassine Bey by now, right? Walk
Yeah.
up to him. Yeah, walk up to him.
Oh,
And like for those of you that have not been to Paris, for those of you that have been to Paris airport, it is wild, right? It is wild. And it's just kind of open. You don't have like the amount of homeless people just kind of walking in and out. That's an open secret about a lot of Europe. There's a lot of homeless. There's a lot of Cali homeless. But walk on them, and again, I'm a big guy comparatively, and he's alone, and I kind of come up. I was like, yo, I just want to, and the kind of fear like he had was like, what's this, right?
right.
Right? What's this? I'm like, nah, listen, I just this shit super dope. I've always loved it. Right? It's been part of my formative years. I just want to say I appreciate you. The look of just sort of relief was like, oh yeah, no, and then it's about my business. Right? You don't often see people that are multifaceted like that in terms of
Hmm.
in terms of big, acting, right, rapping, right. For those of you who haven't seen Brown Sugar, shame on you, right? Shame on you, right? Right? Cabby, right there. Even that other movie when he was playing the assistant to the doctor who was teaching him.
Oh, what is it? Something about like hands. Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic, right? You just see like, yo,
That was a wonderful movie. That
this
was a
man's
that was a great movie.
talented. This man's talented,
Hmm.
right? I wonder if they, since we got AI, right, doing this thing now, because the character, the guy that played him was Snape, right?
Was that?
Snape, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. What about that?
Right.
From Same guy
from in the
from Die
movie,
Hard.
right? Right. No. The guy from Harry Potter, Snape, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the guy that was the doctor in the other movie. Since we got AI, imagine if you could. Yeah, he is. Imagine if you can switch him, right? And he's playing Snape and them. Listen, I'll see what I can do with the Chinese AI. Don't worry about it, right?
Hey,
Right.
that Chinese AI put together a dope Goku versus Tenshinhan. You know what I mean? I saw it. It
You
was
know what?
pretty.
I didn't see the Goku one. I saw uh Tien versus Master Roshi. I saw that one.
I
Yeah,
gotta check that out. I gotta
Master
check
Roshi,
that out.
right? Master Roshi was really
Somebody,
good.
somebody, somebody took a scene from Boys in the Hood when Ricky got shot and put it in with switched them out with Power Rangers.
I saw that one. Yeah, what is Alpha that took the shot?
Ricky was a putty.
Yeah,
Alpha out the Alpha out the whip with the short off shotgun.
right.
He started bugging out.
Travaris, what are we being shamed for? Also, Travaris, fun fact: you guys have a weird, connection. You both
Right,
have sons
there's
named Kai,
oh, it's a
right?
beautiful name.
Beautiful,
Well done, sir. Well
right?
done.
So yeah, I think AI is finally going to be able to let me just make my own movie, right? Instead of me having to wait for Marvel. Listen, did you see Wonder Man?
Not yet. I heard it's great though.
I
I haven't
but
started it.
how many other things have I heard were great? And I'm at the point, and you know me, big Marvel fan. Oh, people, yes, you're right. People have
Oh
not
yeah,
seen
yeah,
John
for
Cena,
sure, for sure.
right? Yo,
That's a good shame. That's a good
that's a good
shame.
shame.
Hey,
That's a good
look,
shame.
this,
That's a good shame.
this,
That's a good shame.
look, there's black cinema, and then there's certain things that just should have been,
Yes,
nationally accredited
yes,
films,
yes.
and
Brown sugar,
that was one. Hmm.
like Boomerang. I can forgive you for not seeing Boomerang. I can forgive you for not seeing Boomerang. Right?
Could you? I mean, that was Eddie at his
Yeah,
peak.
but it's not like you saw it and it was like, damn, this hit here, right? Most of us
Mm,
don't got a Robin Givens coming on and trying to hit on you when you're
yeah,
successful and you
yeah.
got,
You're
Halle
also not like
Berry
a
looking
Fortune 500 CEO.
right,
Just
but you
open brick
definitely
high rise
have
apartment.
right, you definitely have someone that you've been crushing on forever who knows you better than anyone else in the world. Yet, for whatever circumstances, you guys never got together. We've all had that.
Man,
Or we're not going to name names, right? But we,
no names, no
right?
names.
No
Who has
names,
the
no
name?
names,
Nobody
no
has the
names. Who
name.
got
Look,
no
look,
names? No
look.
names, right?
Besides, I'm not trying to get shot. I
Fair,
refuse.
fair, fair,
Yeah,
fair, 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 fair,
look like talking
fair.
about something like that. Well, once
Right,
upon
so
a time.
once upon a
Yeah,
time,
no,
yeah, once
no,
upon a time,
no.
not long ago. It should be long ago, sir. It should be long ago. Yeah, but
Very, 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 very long
to
ago.
that
A whole
point,
lifetime ago.
right, we've been there, right, where
Hmm.
Sid, she gets you, and everyone else around you is looking like, yeah, I know I stepped out on you and did this thing with the dude over here, but you and Sid got a real thing. Nah, it ain't that. Nah, it's that.
It's that.
It's that.
It's absolutely that.
Right
So
now,
what you're
you
afraid
realize
of
it.
is
Right now, you go on the
doing that and messing
journey.
that up.
Now you gotta ride it. You gotta hit on a cab over. You doing successful now. You gotta hold up, son. Yo, what's up? What's up? And now she's like, yo, I've always been in love with you. Right? That harkens back to the time when we were like
Boys.
hopeful, hopeful,
Oh, I mean,
hopeful.
look. So I'll say like I've had a reverse version of that sort of situation. I mean, I think many a young man has. Or, well, let me reverse that.
Reverse curse technique
If you're a
or
person, huh? Was that?
reverse curse technique or reverse curse.
Yeah. Don't get me into the JJK, baby.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
a
yeah,
whole nother channel, a whole different conversation.
I
But
I just don't know why you make a dope character and be like, I hate him.
Gojo,
Yeah, I mean, dope. I hate him. I get for
that is
storyline.
weird.
I get for like. when you make someone that's that dope that everyone in terms of the audience is like, yo, this is dope. This is dope. They
Hmm.
F with them.
Hmm.
Character design, 6 eyes, the hair, the look, the confidence, all of that. And you're like, not the main character.
So shit, now we're
He's
doing it.
on record saying that's not his that's his least favorite.
So one, who doesn't love Kakashi Sensei, right? Who doesn't love the white haired character trope, which means it's just like, yo, that person's special. So
And
from what I
usually like a
understand,
lightning thing. But yeah,
right, Gojo was Gege's ode to Itachi, not Itachi. I'm sorry, Kakashi. Forgive
hmm
me for misspeaking. Um, so there was that. What I think, and you as a writer, storyteller,
right.
might be able to understand this, or should be. He wanted to draw this massive parallel between how incredibly amazing Gojo was and how minuscule um,
Yuji,
Itadori is,
yes,
right? How this is who he could be, and this is who he is, right?
right.
I've met so many
Probably
people.
lower, probably
Yeah,
lower.
yeah, yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
way
yeah,
lower.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Magume somewhere in here,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
Itadori is way lower. And so the reason why I came to that conclusion is like when JJK was the first couple of seasons were out, a lot of people fell in love with Gojo. A lot of people who liked the show were just shitting on Itadori every single chance. He's terrible. He's a bum. And I was like, but think about it from a growth aspect. This
Yes,
kid was a normal kid, and he got thrust into the depths of Jujutsu society, and now you're watching him slowly become a contender, like slowly become a contender.
yeah. I think the difference here, Yuji needs its seasons before you see appreciable, like, not that you
Right,
can't see growth, right? Like take something like Black Clover. Like he just becomes like, oh, I can't do magic. Now he's badass. Right? It
right.
happens very quickly.
Small brain stuff.
Small
Right, small
brain. Right, right.
brain.
I mean, as much as we love Bleach, right?
Hmm.
He just kept getting good. Right? Just like
No struggle,
no
no
struggle.
suffering.
Just like, oh no, I mean, you definitely suffered. You walk around most of the season in bandages, right? Something on right or Ichigo
Right,
is bandaged all the time, right?
all the time.
All the
But
time.
he loses, and he's just like, "F that, power up! I got this. You
But
got this."
but in the same season which Kenpachi Sunju, now people like, who's Reatsu is that? No, it's him. But he trained for 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
That's not much.
So with Yuji, it's like he gets good, but it takes all of the seasons
Hmm.
before
Hmm.
he can contribute in any type of way that's measurable. And
Hmm.
even in doing that, you
And
lose
died
a
like
lot.
twice,
Yeah, you lose a lot. And none of this would have been possible
if not for
if
Coach
if
Justin.
if they if they in the very like second first or second episode, right? The higher ups, the elders in JJK said, kill that man.
Right, right, right,
Kill that man.
right,
They were not
right.
wrong. They were not wrong. Kill that man.
They weren't.
But
They weren't because
but
if he dies, then Kenjaku's whole gambit falls to pieces.
done.
All of
Done. Done. I gotta
it.
go
Hmm.
now, go back, be a woman again, get asked. Hey, I
Try
gotta do
this.
all this work. Wow.
Try this again.
I gotta do all this work.
That
But
was wild, by the
but it's probably wasn't it,
way.
right? But it's probably the most realistic sort of growth you could see, even though you watch him get better, right? Say when he meets up with Toji and Toji's teaching him about black flashes, and he's like
Hmm. Hmm.
getting it down. So, oh shit, my man is actually good at this. Even then, your impact on that is minuscule because Gojo shows up and says, "What's going on here? I'm in the barrier now. Oh, this happening. Let me get rid of that. Let me
Hollow
teleport down
purple.
here. Let
Let's
me
go.
beat this. Done.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah, yeah.
Right? You struggle with this person. You 2v1. You're clapping the boogie woogie. You're doing all this stuff. Right? You guys are getting smart, clever. You're using cursed weapons. All this. Go just comes like, let
Hmm.
me take care of this. So it's like, yo, you still can't really contribute. And even then, you know, you go as it goes from season to season, you're still like, yo, we're trying to do stuff, yet you still Gojo, and now we like, yo, we need help.
Right.
And Gojo trained a whole nother generation of people to help you. You need to go and convince these people, yo, shit's popping off. Hikari,
It's
what's
morphin'
up?
time.
It's more right, right. Yo,
Right.
help me. It wasn't until all this has passed and everyone is has aged out, has married, has children. You trained for 70 years. Now it's like, okay, this is what it was for.
Right.
So
Right.
this is the realistic, and
Well,
this is
hold on,
why I
hold on,
get
hold
it.
on, hold on. You've been keeping track of modulo too? All right,
I
all right,
can't
all right.
I can't help it when I'm scanning the interwebs, right, for content. And they're like, in JJK and Roger, I'm like, in what?
Excuse
Let
me.
me let me just listen for a little
It's a
bit.
what now?
Let me just listen for a little bit. This is kind of interesting. I was like, word, he did that to a building, to a city, but more or less his mentality is what is like sort of striking,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
For an anime, you don't really get a lot of characters are almost with this depressed sort of mind state, like, yo, Yuji doesn't matter. This is like
Right.
I can
He's
see
he's
where
like the antithesis of a Naruto, or he, like what you mentioned with Black Clover. He's an
mhm,
antithesis of Asta. Like he doesn't have the I'm gonna win the save the day sort of mentality. He's just like
it's just
I
too
just have to do my part.
yeah, I'm just too
I gotta do something to do my part.
I'm
Like
like
that Cog
needless right.
episode from like
Yeah,
2 weeks ago encompasses his personality perfectly. Like just
yeah.
he
And
recognizes who I am.
even when you take the circumstances of the birth and seeing how, yeah, it was all sort of pre-planned, forethought
Hmm.
for you to do this one thing. It's hard not to now think about that. Meanwhile, in all your other anime, people are like, you're the chosen one. And hear all the great things about being the chosen one.
Right, right. That
I like it for that aspect of it, right? And I think it helps, and this is why we've always loved anime, the ability to tell a story very quickly and it to, sort of resonate with the rest of the real world rather
hmm
than, Disney, I'm Aladdin, I'm a street rat, I'm a RZA the shorty, right? I'm a,
Yeah.
I'm in there, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I got this
Hey,
lantern. I'm wealthy now. What you
I'm
talking
wealthy,
about?
right? I got a monkey with me. He's dope,
Right.
right? I'm a listen, I got a magic carpet. What's up? And she's like, I don't know about this. Listen to this song real quick, right? And boom, you in there. You in there,
Cool, cool.
right? Jafar been working all this time. No, no go,
Oh man, what you gonna do
right?
with your staff, Jafar? Nothing.
You
Nothing. You got nothing on my genie,
got
my
nothing but
riches,
me.
my riz.
Right. Hit them with the Riz, right? Yo, I can show you the world. I can show you the world is a dope song. Easily, easily top five. Easily,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you don't believe me, something's wrong with you. That's
That's that's the golden era of Disney.
right, but that's what we used to think was going to work on these shorties, right? I just hit you with that song, and then we go through those droughts where
Oh, 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 oh. Before, oh yeah. So we got down the rabbit hole a little bit, but I was saying how I've had the reverse of the brown sugar thing happen, where
right,
I was a young man of good character, and on occasion I'd have like some girl who I was cool with be like, "Oh man, you know, if in like the next 5 years,
ooh,
you're not doing nothing and I'm not doing nothing, we should, just." And it was pretty much like, "Nah, but I'm feeling you right now though. Like you trying to shelf me
mm-hmm,
when
mm-hmm,
you might be ready." Because we're gonna get back to your content, avenue, but you
yeah,
might try to shelf me, a good man, for whenever you might feel like you could be ready for settling down.
I want
But
your garage cut, right?
right? What makes you think that I'm gonna stay on the wayside just waiting for you? Like, oh yeah, so when she's ready, I'll be here. Like, nah,
So
you
so
snooze.
I get why that was the why they thought that was a viable thing that could happen, right? The way we were socialized, we were taught was supposed to happen is that Shorty is everything you could ever want in your world, and you would be lucky and fortunate to have this. You're John Cusack with the boombox, right? You're writing the love letters. You're showing up to the job, the radio station. Yo, when you fall in love with hip hop, right? Well, I'll play you for your heart, all that.
All that,
That's
lines,
lines, right?
bar right
Bars,
there,
right? Bars,
bars.
right? That's how we grow up. Where you're supposed to show these demonstrable favors or accents of love without looking at reality and saying, "Is this what actually people respond to?" When we put men on that back foot and we make it seem as like, yes, your entire life should be about it. You were born to serve, right? To do this, to sit here and sort of just sit here. And yeah, kindness is the highest expression of wisdom, absolutely. But I'm saying
Hmm.
here where part of this was a requirement for us to let go of our self worth, knowing that this doesn't feel right when she's talking about, yo, you're not doing nothing in 5 years. We're still single. I'm gonna come up, right? I'm gonna pluck you off the shelf. Or I'm dealing with him. And I kind of want you on the side, or I'm dealing with him and I'm trying to promote you up to be the new him. Right? You're not you're him, but you're not Himothy, right? But
Mm-mm.
right, but I
You
can do
right
this.
there. You right.
You right there. I'm gonna let go of this, and I'm gonna grab you, and then we can go off
Monkey
and do
bars.
stuff. The monkey bar thing, right?
Hmm.
Like and sometimes you don't know the time in between you and the next man, right? And you find that out sort of
No.
later, right? You find out later, like, wait, there was no time, right?
Right.
There was no
Right.
time.
Like this was like I'm like a week after,
I'm a
and and if you're lucky enough, you might find out what went down beforehand. Like what kind of.
Right, but this is now secondary sources, right? This is all
Oh yeah,
hearsay
absolutely.
coming
Yeah,
from everyone else. You're never getting the real deal, but you're supposed to now give your very all. And again, I get why that mentality exists because we don't think you matter. What is important to you doesn't really seem to matter. You're just supposed to show up. You're supposed to be happy that you got called off the bench
yeah.
and you
You
got
got
put in
picked.
you got put in the game.
And it's me of all people who picked you, so you should be elated. You know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the
And
fact that I told you ahead of time that you could get picked, you should have done your best to wait for
remember, you
that
remember,
call
remember
up.
high school, and my high school, Ace Boon Coon person I was obsessed with back then. And I
Hmm.
remember her saying, I don't want to be with you, but I don't want you to be with anyone else. And I took that and I ran with it. I was like so happy about that, right? Because that felt like acknowledgement. The one that ended up leaving me for that dude with the weird name,
Mm, mm,
right? Who when we
mm,
went training was like, yo,
mm,
and I, and I
mm.
I didn't
Bodied him.
I didn't beat his ass, but it was like, yo, I can knock you out right now. But
You
it's not
you
always
spared
about
him.
you.
You
What?
spared him.
You
You said he
spared him,
beat his
right?
ass, but you spared him. Hey, look, that's still power within itself. If I have the authority to spare you an ass whooping from myself,
At any time,
then
right? At any
then
time,
I am
right?
better. I'm
But
absolutely better.
right to give the backstory, I was pining over this woman for years, right? This became the best friend. She lived two doors down. I'm always over there, but being respectful, you wouldn't be in the house, be on the stoop, right? Back when stoops were a thing, where you sit there, you kick the
Oh
door,
man,
bah, bah,
sit on
bah.
the front step.
Ooh, like a nice New York spring, early summer, nice breeze, but warm
Breezy
out,
day.
just kicking it on the stoop. That was
Mm,
magical,
mm.
right? When did you fall in love with New York? That.
Go get a Sunny Dale iced tea.
Ooh, ooh,
Go get a
ooh,
nice
ooh, sugar.
oh
Or
Sunny Dale iced
Arizona,
tea.
or
Or
Arizona,
Arizona.
right?
Before, I mean, Arizona's trash now, but when they first
Eh,
came out, bro, them
right.
joints used to hit. Glass
Remember,
bottle, glass
you talk
bottle
about, oh,
Arizona,
they
not
got,
plastic.
they was, right. It was and it was at that 50 cent little juice thing. They said, oh, it's got spermicide in it. We just like, what's 50 cent, man? Economy's economy,
Best fungicide in the world, man.
They,
They're
they,
trying to they're trying to sanitize us. I
it's
mean,
right. You know the damn thing,
then
girl. Don't worry
then
about
make it taste better though.
it. Right. So back then, I was there, and it was, there was the hint of the attraction, but back then we're so young. It was always about, the Dawson's Creek. Shout out to James Vanderbeek passing away.
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And it was always that thing, right? It was always like,
Mhm.
yo, you got to be there. You learn about this, integrate to the family. I learned a lot of dope lessons from my father. He would put me aside. He's like, listen, he was like, do like what money is for? Right? This is a nice summer day. We're in the backyard doing a little barbecue thing. Do you know what money is for? I was like, no. He's like, it's to solve problems. It's for to do the things you don't want to do. And I'm thinking, where the hell did this shit come from? Right here. Where did this come from? But it was one of those things that end up sticking with you for the rest of your life.
That's wisdom.
Right. Just
Wisdom.
wisdom. Right? And so, and I'm pining over for years. And the times I would get like, all right, I could just look at you, a friend, because you got this long term boyfriend thing going. There was the other shorty I was pining over, right? The tiny Puerto Rican Dominican one. But it was
Winter
back then,
fresh.
right? Back then. But this one was like everyone looked and said, you guys would be the Huxtables before the allegations, right? Before the convictions, before that. But in terms of like you guys are both
Right.
smart about that. And she listened, to her credit, she's gonna go to Columbia, professor at Columbia, like dope, dope, dope. But
Pretty dope.
right, but when we finally got together, I'm like, yo, I'm elated. But I noticed later, like towards the end, like this dude is around all the time, right?
Mm.
And not only is he around, he's in the house around. I'm
Mm.
still regulated to the
Mm.
stoop, right? I'm still trying to be respectful, but he's in the house.
That's disrespectful.
So, and now it's early college. One time I come back to see her, and she's like, she breaks up with me. I was like, yo, I'm asking like, yo, why? You know why?
Back then the term simp didn't exist.
Did not exist, but he
But
embodied it.
that but he, yes, absolutely. Like just purely the simpiest. I just want to paint a picture, right? This man had no shoulders. All right. He didn't have no shoulders. I just want y'all to picture the most slack shouldered, long neck, lame dude that y'all could think of. And that was this dude. And it's very interesting. But I would dare say for some, it happens with male and female relationships. He was controllable.
Yeah,
You and your will was probably not. No
yeah,
matter how much you might have adored her, you did not have the temperament to be under thumb. And that
and
dude, nose wide open,
yeah,
under thumb.
and we had explosive summers of growth, right?
Hmm.
It wasn't
Hmm.
like we were just doing the
We ain't
same
just
thing.
talking text, my God.
Right, right. It was, yo, this is happening. Your world's sort of opening up and expanding. Our world's sort of opening and expanding.
Hmm.
I've got a real job, and I'm moving and shaking with people that are changing sort of my outset, my thinking. And there's this growth happening. There's rumblings of growth, right? The rumbling, right?
Hmm.
We're gonna launch these titans, right? About to wake things up, right? Like the rumbling, what's in the walls? Oh God damn! Oh God!
This dude over here dragging me to Green Acres Mall to try to do random holler sessions. Like I was like, nah, I can't.
Right? Hey, just like
I can't.
so. You're right. He was very much in that small little box, in that small little
Hmm.
area. And
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, okay, cool. So back then I used to train like martial arts, and my actual like my seafood, he passed away unexpectedly, complications with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. So the rest of the guys that he trained, and this was like a very weird juxtaposition, very kind dude, but very, very vicious. Like this is back in the era where you used to knock on someone's door
Vicious.
like, take a walk with me. And that walk could be 15 minutes, it could be 3 hours, right? But you would go, and He was teaching about these plants, about the usefulness of this. He was learning Mandarin. So, you should pick up another language, all this other stuff. And there were times when we had to actually out training, and it was like 3 hours. Steam coming from the top of my head. Back then, we out there just it's so now we want to honor him. With like all the people that he taught. We thinking like, yo, let's get together, let's do like a little tournament. And I was like, okay, since we all know the same style, let me go get something else, a little kempo. I was like, yo, Blair,
Hmm.
come
Hmm.
with me, right? Because this dude, right, the one with no shoulders and shit, we were all in the same class. And he's like, oh yeah. And back then I didn't get it. It was one of those one ups, right? Oh yeah, you
Hmm.
do that? I do this too. Right? I was like, okay, back. You do that? Not too far from where I live. Maybe what, 6, 7 blocks, some 8 blocks.
Not
Sometimes we
too
go out
far.
there, we just jog it, a little warm up. We go there, stretch, and say, "Yo, we train too." And in the beginning, it was three of us, right? His teacher, his Sifu, his sensei was teaching us and trying to get a gauge of where we were. And very quickly, it just became me and you, right? I think they had a whole
Very
conversation
quickly.
about that time when the sensei sets us to spar, not me and Blair, right? Blair was very good with the kicks, very flexible back then, just annoying.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah,
Through them
mad
joints.
kicks. Like
Hands, not
Jackie
so much. Him,
Jackie Chan
lethal with the
and
hand.
stuff. I was the hand. This guy was the feet. And you think like, oh, that's so easy. Nah, feet's annoying to deal with. You're not just blocking a kick with your hand. Nah, that will hurt, right? That will.
Right.
You be like, I'm not doing this again. Now you're fearful of the feet leaving the floor. Nah, anyway, so they set me against this dude, the no shoulders, and this is his very first exchange. He does some stuff. He throws like some punch. It looks like it's slow motion. Right? It looks like we're underwater. I just parry the thing. There's a back fist coming to his face, stops right at his cheek, pauses
Hmm.
right there, right? Because this is how I was trained. We don't got to do undue damage, right? It's obvious there's a difference in our reaction time, our speed. Also, I'm bigger, stronger, more muscled, not to the point where I can't move because I'm in his face now. Pause, right?
This,
First pause
mo-
of the
this,
night.
this, 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 this motherfucker fast when he want to be. To be honest, I have no idea the
Right.
speed at which he could just move. And I'm like, bro, you can't be like 6'4", 250 and move at the speeds at
Yo,
which you move. That's not
yo,
fair. This is
and
not.
right.
It's
This
not
was a
fair at
testament
all.
to the hellish fucking training we were doing all the time. So I paused right there. His sensei, he calls it. He's like, "Oh, all right." And this is when the dude whispers to me. He's like, "You know what? It's not always about you." And you're right, that worms in the air. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I know by now I've been snaked, right? Right? I've been snaked.
Hmm. Hmm.
He's already in there with Shorty. He's in there.
Right.
I've been snaked. I've let this go a long time ago. Right? This is what it is. I've been snaked. Right? Slytherin came in and said, "You don't win all the time. You've been snaked." Right? Cool. Got it. Right? He big old snake coming out. You got me, Orochimaru. You got this. Right?
Right. Right.
Cool. 110%. Your win.
Mondo pops up with all the little subordinate snakes. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Hey, just upset. Like, why'd you summon me? Like, yo,
yeah. Right.
I'm upset
How
about
dare
this.
you
Right.
tell me that's a
How dare
lame
you tell me
ass
something
place?
lame ass fight? So this is not always about you. All right. But from then on, we never
That's
sparred
supposed to be.
together again. It was like, yo, it was done. They had to have a conversation. He stopped that at that point and then, kind of dismissed us from
Mhm.
that. And he had a conversation with that man. And whatever was told, I never got the subsequent follow-up conversation and saying,
Hey,
what did you do
look,
wrong? You were wrong for X, Y, and Z. No, I was just a guy.
bro. You know what? You know what? You know what? I mean, since we reminisce, the end of it was you and me came to train with Edwin to
Yeah.
learn to fight. We wanted to fight. That
Yeah.
joint was not about learning katas and
No.
movement and nah, nah, nah. Scrap. How do we scrap and
Hmm.
scrap some more? That's what we want to do, and then we're going to learn to be better through fighting. Yes, you can
Yeah.
give us instruction after we fight, but we're gonna fight, and then we're gonna fight you, and you can still beat us, but we're gonna fight.
Very fine with
That's
getting
what we
beat,
need to do.
right? Very fine with that. We're here to learn and we're here to get
Right.
experience, especially in a style. This is a Chinese Kempo, especially in a style that we're not familiar with. But we're here to get better. Egos and all that stuff have been checked. On the jog here, all that's been checked.
Hmm.
And then I remember after that, we didn't spar with them. It's just me and you, right? Which is fine, right? Because we sit there, we would spar, then we would sit there and say, how can we get better at the things that we just learned that we sucked at?
Right.
But then we're together all the time. Again, not being allegations. Um, and the
Alligator.
times we weren't doing that, we're doing push-ups at work, inspiring other dudes to do push-ups. Then we're going back to my place again, allegations, and the no explode, the
Well,
C4, the
besties
overwater
though.
lift, right?
Oh
Besties,
man.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
besties.
yeah,
So then,
yeah. Straight ulcer season, bro.
oh god, oh god. Remember the first time I tried the no explode, right? And it said, "Yo, just one scoop." I said, "Bullshit, bullshit."
Bruh,
I'm a
bruh.
big man. Give me
You was,
room. And I was tired. Boom.
bruh, but you was tweaking off that nose.
Oh my
Something
god.
else. Well, you know what. I tell you, God is good. And we were protected because the fact that we started mixing No Explode with Red Bull was really some crackhead
for,
energy for
for
real,
for
though.
those who've never been there, right? There. When you are on a train, separated, and someone cracks a Red Bull, and you could smell it immediately. Like
Mm,
this is when you go to therapy and
that Red Bull.
acknowledge, yeah, I got a problem. I got a
Mind you,
problem.
mind you, dozing on the train. Train is
Dozing.
moving.
Right.
You dozing. You hear the crisp and that initial, I guess, waft of scent just hits the air. You 15, 20 seats down the other end of a crowded train. You just like, I
Yo,
smell Red Bull.
I need
I
that.
need that.
I
Mm.
need that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Problematic.
It's problematic.
Hella
It's problematic.
problematic.
Man, that's when you've gone too far. And it took a while to kick that, right? Later on in life. It took a little while
Oh,
to kick that. Where
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
but
kicked that a long time ago.
yeah, but all right, you're not better than me. Uh here's how they got me. They're like, yo, I heard you over it, right? I heard you off the train, you off the wagon. We got watermelon. I was like, God damn it.
Mm.
I was like, I gotta try it. I gotta try
Come on, man. Yeah,
it. I
you
got
setting us all back. You gonna fall for the watermelon? What you gonna tell me next? Your favorite flavor was grape?
I thought it was a safe space. I thought it was a safe space, right? I thought it was a safe space.
You thought.
I thought you're right. That's
You
what you got
thought.
wrong. You thought. You thought. Yeah. So that
Oh
was
man.
probably I'm my first cognitive realization of like how men can hate on each other. But to me, I didn't understand it because you won already, right? You won. You already in the house with Shorty.
But
I'm not around. I'm not doing the things. I'm not
mm,
this friendship thing, this magical thing we had is dead. You in there.
yeah, yeah, he was in there, but you weren't in that house. You don't know what she talked about and when you
And
wasn't
I don't know.
around.
No.
Yeah, you
And
don't know. You don't know if there weren't like real light, shady comparisons that were thrown out there here and there that had him feeling little soft about his position. You know.
in that, and this is I've never seen that man again, by the way. Right? I've never seen that.
No,
I think
no.
there was one other time like I went to the house to drop something off and he was like in the back then. He was skulking, right? Skulking, right? Like Gollum. Right?
Make it sound like man was dumpster diving. You know, like the man was out here looking for a meal. Just
Right. But
God damn.
when I'm ringing the bell and you answer the door, you in there, right? This ain't your house, right? And I'm wondering like, what? You don't got a home? You're putting that aside. Putting that aside. So, um, there's one time I was back in the spot, back in that. And remember, this is for those of you who don't know, and most of you don't know, this is two houses down from like the Easy Manor, right, in Queens, the first house, right, that we grew up in. The home for wayward boys. Right? We used to call it that Thanksgiving. all the friends used to come there. You didn't have, you were going through some stuff at home because we were all angsty teenagers at one point, angsty young men. My parents were very cool. Saturdays, the side door was unlocked. You come there,
Yeah, yeah,
you greet the parents, right? You greet the
absolutely.
parents, then you cool. There was no. My father used to remark he loved our choice in friends because sometimes they would leave money on the kitchen table and no one would touch it. No one look at it. No one would be like, "Yo, I need that." Right? It was just your stuff. That
First
was
of all,
safe.
that would be insane to ever do. Like you stealing money out your homie's house? Who does that?
Who does that? But
Somebody
apparently,
does that.
someone does that. Plenty of people do that.
Plenty
Plenty
of
of people
people
do that.
do that.
I found this. I found this clip and I was trying to debate how to use it, and maybe in the next like production live stream. But it's so to set the scene. Like I'm like in the scene. I'm driving a car. I've got a capital murder warrant out for me. Capital murder. Murder. You in a car with me. I get pulled over. Cop starts running the stuff. He goes back to run it. This is all just you can just hear the sound of it. Can't see any faces, no video, it's just all audio. Or it's video, but it's facing down, so it's just black screen. I, the driver with the warrant, I'm begging you to take off and run. I'm begging you to open the door, take off and run so the cop can chase you and I can leave. Begging you. He's like, no, I'll pick you up. It's just, and it's like 4 or 5 minutes of straight, just like to the point like, oh, I got a capital murder warrant. Please, dog, please, dog, please, dog. I'm amazed. So sometimes we get pigeonholed in saying the type of people you're around is the type of people you're around.
Yeah.
My upbringing was not full of right hood drama, hood nonsense, right? I didn't have that. I had for the most part stand up people around me, and when the times they decided to do dirt, it wasn't around me and my family. They
Hmm.
respected the sanctity of the home. You go out there and do whatever you want, but when you came here, it was good morning, good night, ba, 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 ba. It was all that. My parents were like thoroughly impressed to the
I
point like
mean,
I
first person came to mind when you just said that was our man. I don't feel like saying homie
yeah
name,
yeah
but
yeah yeah yeah
had us doing reps on the bars because of his shoot. But you know what? Regardless of whatever folly may have befell his life, man was probably one of the most stand up dudes
stand up,
I've
right,
known.
right. And what I loved about him, that ability to switch up to be like I'm stand up to yeah I'll murk you, I'll do what I got to do. That
Yeah, yeah.
I was like
He had that joint on a switch. Like, I
mm-hmm.
was like, I never want to be on the other side of it.
Never been on side of it,
Never,
right?
never
It
want to
was
be on the other side of it.
decade and a half later, we're like listening to like Jordan Peterson talk about you should be a monster. You should be that. Like as a man, you should be able to go there,
Hmm.
right? But you
Hmm.
should have that sort of locked away. About you being strong isn't you just kind of being a pushover. It's you having the ability to exhibit that sort of extreme violence when necessary, but you keep that on the wraps. I was like, this man kind of embodied exactly how I think
Hmm.
we always sort of try to hold ourselves. Just because you have the ability to exhibit the strength over someone doesn't mean you use it. You keep that at bay and you
Right.
unleash it in terms of protecting those people around you. You don't just wield it. And it doesn't seem
Haphazardly.
like that's a lesson that's really, ubiquitous today.
No, not at
Especially this
all.
new generation, this new
Mhm.
this up and coming generation
Or
who
the
will
YNs?
the YNs, right?
The YNs.
The YNs will straight up on camera, right? Camera used to be the thing was like, yo, don't see. I don't want you to see this raunchy shit I'm doing. Please don't look. Don't look. Don't record it. Don't put it out there.
Hmm.
Some of these wines were like, they'll straight up, and I've got plenty of videos that I've come across and said, I'm not going to use this because it's just exhibiting violence, right? And I think at a certain point, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
we don't need more of this. But straight up, little young chick in their face, pop 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 pop.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Those things
there.
that make it past the Instagram moderators,
Yeah,
these are
like,
not rated
bro,
like we're like, yo, don't hit a woman.
negative.
No, they're like, nah,
No,
hook off. They're like, hook
not at
off. Be
all.
embarrassed if she doesn't get knocked out.
Like I've met actual like Rangers, Delta Force SEALs who have been in, in theater overseas. A lot of times, they're some of the most calm, cool, collected guys you ever met. But they have that switch,
That's
and when
right,
they're active, them dudes are cold,
cold,
stone cold, you know.
right,
But when they're home, some of
teddy
the
bear.
most like yes, and
Yeah,
I mean when and I'm not just talking about in like it's a complete juxtaposition. You see a guy who's maybe like 6'2", 6'3", ripped, jacked, looks like a complete machine, will tear you apart, and he is the sweetest, nicest person that you ever met. So then all right, yeah, this dude is in action. Yeah, he's a monster. I don't even need to guess that he's a
I don't even
monster.
get right. I
I
don't
can
even get.
see it.
And it's like you did all that, and it's
Yeah.
never from them. It's always third party, someone that doesn't know this new persona that's revealing
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, back when we did this, and then you like that person's like,
Like, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Talk about.
Nah, no, you scalped the
Mm-hmm.
dude. I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I seen it. Right?
Seen it with my own two eyes.
I seen it. What are you talking about? You can't play humble now. Remember, we had and it's not to this extreme, but we had a tournament manager. I think his name was Mark. Short, squat, buzz cut, dude back
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
T7. And when you nicest guy, and then when you sit there talking, oh yeah, it used to be corrections. It used to be corrections, and people like would talk about, oh yeah, he was wild back then. Teddy bear
Mm-hmm.
with the rest of us. I'm like, and I
Yeah,
kept
because this is light
seeing,
work.
right, I
Y'all
kept
not
seeing
inmate.
that
Y'all regular
reaction.
people.
Right, kept seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the that was he was a bus driver, the one that taught us about uh that was the problem you were thinking you should have thought it.
Oh, Manny. Manny.
Manny. Right.
Yeah, Manny.
Wise effing words right there. That was the
Hell
boy,
yeah, man. Manny's the
right?
coolest dude ever. But you
Yeah.
know what? You know what? Guys like Manny are the reason why, like, kind of like part of the reason why I try to be, I'm trying to be helpful with this kid. Like Manny, kind of helped me get through once again that period after my pops passed away.
Hmm.
You know, um, because I guess like just his presence in general. You know, older Puerto Rican guy, cool as hell, kind of a drunk. You know, come, come come pick me up in his old like 1970 Chevy Caprice wagon,
Damn.
riding to work in this big old super wheeled up hearse type joint, and then but he was just a hella cool dude, and it's just like sometimes I mean as a it's an interesting segue, but as a now three-year father or whatever, there's something that I recognize, especially like when we're talking about like, if we're gonna sit here and talk about the young generation, is like this is gonna sound weird. Young young boys need male figures in their lives, right? I almost said
Hmm.
somewhere like young boys need men, but that sounds crazy. But young boys need
Epstein-ish.
male figures in
Yeah,
their life.
Epstein-ish.
Yeah, very extremely. Um, but like I try to be the best dad possible to my son Kai, right? And then when I take him to daycare and other children see how I am with my child, they gravitate towards me. They look to me. They want me to read to them. They want me to play with them. They want me to just. These kids be walking up just talking to me. I'm like, just the way that specifically some of the little boys in class just find me to be like the most interesting thing in the world. Like, yeah, that's cool. I gotta go. But I do play my part in daycare like I'm supposed to go. read to the kids next week. One of these days next week, I got to talk with his teacher. But young men or young boys, they need like male guidance of some sort, in their lives. And I think that's also something that's very lacking between the generations, where there's like a lack of overall responsibility to the next generation from our generation
Yeah,
and following, because it's just like, well, they'll be fine. Nah, he's the kid who I'm helping now. He's looking for a male mentor.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He said it himself. Like, I need that guidance in my life, because otherwise I just don't. I don't know what I should be doing. And so that's why I stick around and I keep talking to him, because you know the guidance that say his mom wants to give him isn't. It's not fulfilling him. It's not. It's not
yeah.
landing home.
It's
You
it's
know.
geared towards what she would need from him in that moment, in that space, not I'm trying to help prepare you what you're going to need in the next couple of years, the challenges that you're going to face, the things that is going to hit you. Like
Right.
I was mentoring for my alma mater, and I would, they had this big program, John Jay, and I would go there and talk. I put on presentations, talk about, and they would assign you mentees. And I remember the difference in terms of get after itness
Hmm.
when I would sit down and give them like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you should be looking at. This I want you to start thinking about what you want to do when you graduate. Somewhere, freshmen, somewhere seniors. Having these thoughts, and it's the first time they're having these, but the amount of effort they will put into this is their own lives. The lack of it. I would turn around. I went to the head of the program and said, here's where you're finding the biggest flaw in this. When people, when something is free, people think it's worthless.
True.
When they have to, this is why these some of these influencers that are peddling and saying, buy my program, $10,000, $11,000. This is why they're successful. Because people will assign an amount of value based upon how valuable that money is. But when you come to people and say, I'm trying to give you this game for free, what's the catch? What's the catch? If I don't feel like the bar of entry, the bar of receiving this is high, I'm not going to treat it with any type of urgency. That was the biggest issue I had with them. And I said, these guys you're sending me. One time we did a whole Zoom thing. We had maybe 100 people, 100 students in there. We do little breakout rooms. One guy is, I think he's watching Avatar, Last Airbender. Great choice, great choice.
Just poor,
But we're
bad
having this whole
time.
conversation,
Right.
right? I know what Azula sounds like, when she's about to throw the lightning. You can't fool me, right?
You gotta hit them.
Right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, who said Zuzu? I was like, I know who Zuzu is, right? You can't lie to me.
Hmm.
And I'm telling like this is you're making this open to everyone. So when you're sitting there giving this young man a game and it's not hitting the same way, one of the things is like, yeah, because you think this is a resource you can tap whatever, whenever. It's always going to be there. So one of
Right.
the things I would tell them like, listen, you do the things I'm asking you to do or not, and if not, I'll kick you back right back out to the pool. I don't got to do any of this,
Right.
right?
And
I'm
that,
not.
yeah,
I'm
you're absolutely
right.
right about that, though. People don't necessarily cherish. I remember, just in that vein, there was I guess like a slight experiment that was done. There was a world-renowned violinist that went to New York City, that was performing in the subways and on the street, absolutely free. Goes to Lincoln
Hmm.
Center, and the tickets are sold out. We're talking thousands of dollars per ticket. People would just walk by this guy in the street, world-renowned
Yeah,
violinist. People just walking by. Few people actually stayed, would stop and be in awe of, not knowing who he was, but just be in awe of his talent. But then, like you said, the value. is in the ticket price.
in the ticket price. Right.
This is amazing music because it costs a lot.
Yes.
But you guys, the average person walks right by like, nah, just a dude on the sidewalk playing a violin. It's not
That's
important.
that's an excellent topic to make a little video about. I'm gonna run that later. But when we see that, especially when you've got all the, and this is why we end up losing a lot of mentorship when you're trying to give back, when you're trying to be that person to someone else, and they don't have the capability or the wherewithal. And we have to sometimes remember that we are now the generation in all those 90s, 80s, 90s movies. We're the adults, Dirty Dancing and Footloose. We're the ones saying this is devil music, right? That's us now. we're,
Yeah,
we're looking and
yeah,
saying
kind
like,
of.
oh, you can't do this. Nah, this is you gyrating the hips. What is this? What's going on? We have to talk to them on their level because they don't have the capability. They weren't raised under the same sun and the same sky as we were.
I think where the disconnect is immediacy, right? With the information age and social media and everything social media wise comes quick, right? When our attention spans have been programmed to be not more than maybe 7 to 10 seconds long,
Yeah,
based on how quickly you scroll video to video. Now in order for me to reach you, I've got to be able to package something of complete and unparalleled value in a span of maybe 10 seconds, maybe even less. Really, I have
maybe
to
even
hook
less.
you in the first three seconds.
I gotta hook you in 3 seconds. Yeah,
I gotta hook you in 3 seconds and manage to keep you, maybe for a thread. If I'm lucky, it has to be a thread and it has to be engaging in a way that you find interesting. Now that engagement becomes incredibly difficult because the attention span is so abused by social media these days. It's hard to pass on a meaningful message without somebody just being like, scroll. I
I've
caught
gotta
the gist.
right. Yeah,
My
I've gotta
mom
give
sent me a
you.
video.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, I've got to give you an inane hook. Like I've got to throw something at the screen, and you're like, "Oh, now I'm trying to. I've got your attention. I've bought myself 5 seconds."
Right. Or I can be giving you the message, right? But I have to have a whole circus going on in the
Yeah,
background where you're paying attention, but not because now you're more paying attention to my background. It's like you have to be so creative with the packaging because
right. But
everybody's trying to grab attention.
what I end up doing is hurting your attention span more so because now I'm saying here, 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 here. Unless you came looking for the information, right? You go on YouTube, you go to YouTube University, how to change this washer, how to change, this tire, how to tie a tie, how to where to
Right.
insert the RAM in my laptop. Now you're gonna sit there for those videos. You came
Because
looking
it's
for the
necessary.
education,
It's necessary
right?
knowledge. Yeah.
But in that regular degular scroll, if I can't tell you, um, and like I'm trying to like algorithm change with YouTube and Shorts and across the platform, a lot of people, even major creators, their views are down. And one of the things I picked up was the insertion of it was the insertion of Gemini and how now the AI is trying to almost mirror and predict how humans will decide what video matters. And even if they're like, listen, you got subscribers, if I send it to your subscribers, obviously they're here for that. But with a regular person like this, I don't know. Let me try to anticipate and test this. But those people, I've now got to hook their attention.
Mm,
So I almost got
hmm
you almost got to say something wild, outlandish, just to say, I'm just hoping you stick around for another 10 seconds.
Right. Right. And then you start to get into topics that are maybe disingenuous or what have you, just because you were trying to cast that
Yeah,
hook.
just
But yeah, so trying to get the youngins, to hold audience and truly listen to good guidance. I mean, we were in the same boat. I won't say you and me specifically, but people of
Yeah,
our generations, we're in the same boat. When you and me had our heads down and we were grinding, and like you mentioned before, folks talking about why you doing all this overtime, they just gonna tax it and take all the money. First of all, you're not smart because there's tax brackets and you don't
yeah.
understand how that works. They
Didn't
only
understand
tax
at
the
all.
over higher. If we go over a certain amount, they'll tax that at a higher rate, but they're taxing all of it at the same rate so long as we don't go into the next bracket. And only what goes into the next bracket is taxed. Not all of it is taxed at the
Yeah,
next higher level. So you don't know what you're talking about. So while you think I shouldn't be doing it, I'm making more money than you. But you think you know so much,
you think you know so
right?
much, right?
And people rather, kind of deal with perception than facts. I perceive that I know what I'm talking about, even if I have no proof
Even though I
of
have
what
no
I'm
proof,
talking about,
right?
right?
Yeah. And what I love about how we started in terms of Tasa, right, is that it was the first real foray into human sort of like interaction that we got to see.
Hmm.
And I got to
Yeah,
see,
because
and
he
I
was a
understood.
robot before he met me, by the way.
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was
Go
very
ahead.
much input X, output Y. Um,
Kill all humans. They're
Kill all
useless. But go
humans, right? Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. There've been you and my brother have been like the biggest. You, my brother, my sister have been one of the biggest markers of my growth in terms of just being like in understanding emotion and being more. Not that I was a sociopath, or not that I don't score high on these things.
I
Anyway,
mean, I mean, Patrick Bateman might have been in your futures.
I did
I
have
don't
one woman that years ago, right, decades ago. She said, "You got the emotions of a doorknob." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
such a
It's not
compliment.
a compliment. It's not a compliment.
Awesome family, by the way.
Right.
Great people that keep you grounded and anchored. And
Keep
so,
you grounded. Yeah. And I like that, when I do get in front of my siblings again, they're like they see like, you seem better, you seem more grounded from the last stint when I went up north for 4 months and I came back and I'm chilling with them. They're like, my brother was, really the greatest, I don't know if you can hear me, the greatest like chronicler of sort of my growth. And he witnessed that. He was like, "Yeah, you seem more centered, more stable." I was like, "Yeah, I've been working." And one of the things
mhm.
my boy Dre told me about, as you get older, when I was like 33, so when you get 35, you're gonna be like, you think you know it all, and then you're gonna hit 40, and you're gonna look back and say, I don't know shit. I started to get, I started to look forward to those changes, those times when you would hit that milestone and look back and say, "Yo, I thought I was pretty solid. I feel solid now. I feel like, yo, I got a good understanding of who I am."
Mhm.
And then 45 will roll around, in 3, 4 years, and I'll look back and say, "You ain't no shit." But I
But
like
you know,
that.
it because it's like a an enlightenment hits. It's weird. Like I think of it like a combination lock, you know, and how you have the different slots, and then each time the right ones come into alignment, bam! It's like your brain. It's not like you learn something new.
Oh, yeah.
You connect old pathways and make sense of things that were once kind of just like you know ethereal, if you will. Like you're just like, whatever. And then one day you're doing something and then it like clicks and you think back to a moment 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and it's just like, oh my God, this makes so much sense now.
Right. Right.
Because these things mentally came into alignment. And then by the time you're 47, there'll be another rotation of the lock, and like bam, now you got three links that are connected, and other things will suddenly from life experience start to the circuits start to connect. You're like, oh man, never
Yeah, that
really
that
thought
becomes
about it this way.
that becomes the beauty of staying in the game and doing the work, right? And
Hmm.
trying to polish, right? Trying to polish your game. Like Kobe, like, yo, I wasn't the fastest, but where can I learn how to cheat a step here, 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 anticipate this? That to me becomes that's fundamental with me. Like I always want to work on something just so next time, and it could be a bit of vanity, there could be a bit of, vengeance in there. But the next time I meet someone that I knew before, I want them to be like, damn, I feel
Who's
like
this
now
dude?
right, I was chilling. I should have been on the game. I should have been on the gas. I should have been working like you were working. I don't want to ever run into someone from my past and yo man, you got fat. You got fat. You got what
No.
happened, right? What happened?
Right. Right. Right.
What happened?
Which, by the way, that would never happen because
We've got a pact.
you'd have to. Huh?
We've got a pact.
Exactly. We got to pay. I was about to say nobody would ever run into you and say, "Oh my God, you got fat." You wouldn't even be there. You wouldn't be there. You
Everything,
would.
right?
You would be under the earth. Like, oh yeah. By the way, the Mr. Murph, we are holding you here in trial for murder. It's not murder. It's not murder.
Not
It's
murder.
a
We're the
promise.
pact.
There's
We're
a
the pact.
difference.
We had a whole
It's
pact.
right. It's been recorded. All right. He knew, and
He
I also
knew.
knew the
Right.
terms. You get fat, you die. That's it.
He walked
That's
around
it.
here heavy. He knew it. He knew it.
He walked down
Right.
the stairs and his titties jiggled, bruh. I tell you, no lie. I had, I had some fear after my son was born, and I would walk down the stairs and feel a little jiggle in my back. I was like,
When you hit
nah.
that last stair and it's still
Nah. I was like, no, no, not like this,
not like
not
this.
like this.
Yeah. You driving in the car, you hit that bump, there's still movement.
Bro, I was like, no, naturally, of course, I'm griping about this to my wife, who bore our son and has her own
Yeah,
natural weight
right,
issues
yeah.
after
She's like,
postpartum.
shut the
And she's
oh,
like,
shut
"What are
all
you
the way up.
complaining about?" I was like, "I've never jiggled in my life,
Never.
never
Right.
got
Never.
that jiggle. Got to be kidding me!"
But
Swear to God
I mean,
Almighty.
to be fair, like, and what we talking? We were talking 2 days ago, 2, 3 days ago about that Captain America build you used to walk around with.
Eh,
F you, man.
eh,
F
eh.
you. I got
And
the
we ain't
picture
talking
somewhere.
Sam Wilson neither, all right? Just so in
No,
case anybody's
no,
wondering. No,
no,
sir.
no.
No,
Listen, listen.
not with a knee sleeve. Not
Right,
with
right,
the
right,
knee
right, right. Listen,
and the
no
gimpy
one,
jog. No, sir.
no one stays enlisted forever. Um, Sam Wilson is not Captain America, right? And I don't want to start a movement saying not my captain, but when you get introduced into characters in comics, it's almost static. These are
Right,
X-Men Blue
right.
Team is the X-Men Blue Team, the Gold Team, Uncanny. These are Fantastic Four is a Fantastic Four. Yes, I know
E.
sometimes
Right.
Hulk was in there, right? She-Hulk was in there, Spider-Man was in there, but that's not the Fantastic Four.
It's not the
It's
Fantastic
not
Four.
the right. Then you got Avengers, and you say Avengers West Coast. I don't know them. I don't know
Yeah,
them,
bro.
right? I know
I
Avengers.
couldn't even tell you who the West Coast Avengers were. I'm like, we breaking it up into SEAL teams now. We got
Right,
a
right.
West Coast SEAL team.
How you have Avengers West Coast, but they're interplanetary, right? They've been in Midgard.
It makes
How's
sense.
it a what?
Make it make sense.
How make it make sense,
Somebody
right?
tried to think too much. They was like, oh, they can't cover the whole United States. What are you talking about? They can't cover the whole United States, but they're supposed to fight go intergalactic, beings. It doesn't make no
Thanos
sense. That don't
coming,
make no
and
sense at
Thanos is
all.
not like, don't worry, I'm coming to New York.
Damn it, we don't have the West Coast
What is the
Avengers.
West Coast Avengers? I'm all
Oh
the way
my
in New
God, this
York.
is San Diego.
You're right. Hopefully X-Men will cover it. Oh wait, they don't exist in this timeline because of
No, it's a
rights.
different world. Same comic books, different world.
Different.
But
That was
yeah,
a six
yeah,
one
yeah.
six. That
So
was a 616.
not saying that Sam Wilson Cap is not Cap, but he is not
Not the Captain
the Cap.
America had a drug cocktail injected into him.
Mm,
Just
hmm.
luckily, he already had the morality that you needed, right? And then he had a best friend, right? Obviously, I'd be Bucky in this, brainwashed into doing bad
I was,
things that he seemed to be okay with anyway.
I was
Wait,
about
listen, this is
to
this is this is a fair
it's
question.
oddly
I've posed many times, right? Let's go with the MCU. Winter Soldier, obviously one of the best MCU movies they've ever made, right? When it's a
Hmm.
movie,
Hmm.
right? You don't need a bunch of powers to get stuff done. It's a man and his best friend reunited, fighting, right? Knife drops, right? All the cool stuff. If you were brainwashed, can you be prosecuted for what you did while you were brainwashed? I say no. I say no.
I feel like there's a statute for that.
Where? Not like actual brainwashing, not hypnotism. No, actual like no.
Involuntary manslaughter.
But
You didn't want to do it. You were somehow caused to do it. It happened by
yeah,
your hand.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was no
By
intention behind it.
a programmed personality
It's
devoid of compassion.
involuntary.
That's a stretch for involuntary.
How you are you are you say
That's not a stretch.
see, I won the argument. You're live one now. It's a dub. It's a dub for me.
You see, even the CIA knew, like, yo, that's a stretch, man.
Yep.
He's got a
Hey,
point.
no, they didn't think it was a stretch. They was like, yo, this is an invalid argument. Just, just shut it off right now.
This shit is, nah, they're like, yo, he's on the sun. MK Ultra, he's on the sun. Nah, I think it's real. I think it's, I think involuntary does not
Doesn't
actually
meet the
doesn't meet the standard of what we're
doesn't meet
talking
the
about
grade.
now. I'm talking like Bucky level. Your personality isn't there, right? Your personality has been erased from your actions. The guy came
Mm.
with the book and he said all these random words in order, and he gave me like that level of
Yeah, but
brainwashing. I think
I'm
involuntary is
just
like, nah, man, my blood got hot. Like that Punisher, right? My blood got up, and I walked in, and Shorty was getting the most vicious of back shots. So I
goddamn.
went I went to work. I started not beating her, but beating that man, and then he
Whoa,
died.
whoa. That still sounds crazy.
Right?
Hold on a second. Hey, if I rotate my if I
No,
oh god,
it's not gonna change. It's gonna stay just like that.
it's not gonna rotate.
Nah, it's not gonna rotate. You doing too much.
Battery is dying,
What I
dying.
tell you? What I tell you?
I,
I said charge it.
you know what? Easier
Now,
said. Easier,
now you gotta
easier
be
said.
charged to the game. Now you gotta be
You
charged
know,
to the game.
I'm getting creative with the balancing act. As long as I don't hit the telefono, I think I should be fine.
Well, listen,
Ah,
I don't think that level of involuntary rises to cover. It doesn't.
I don't know what I don't know what else other than that. I don't know what else it could be.
I don't think there's a statute for it. I think you got to make a victims of brainwashing statute, like real brainwashing, not that you can't like just simply claim it.
Oh, okay. It would have to be created. It would definitely have to be like a created
Yeah, I think
thing.
that's
What's it?
fine. I think that's fine.
Eh, I mean, at the end of the day,
I see what's happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You would
yeah.
join the Friends of Humanity, that terrorist group that is always trying to bother the X-Men. That that's you, Friends of Humanity.
Whoa.
That's what
No,
it is.
no. I'm just trying to think.
That's what it is.
I'm trying to speak on how the
You're afraid of mutants. That's what it is. You can say it.
no, how the judicial system works is like, oh, if we don't have something that exists for it, we'll just put it in a box that makes sense to us. Not that it actually has to make sense. It just has to make sense to the
I mean, it's
prosecutors.
got to go to the Supreme Court, and they got to write a new law for it,
Uh,
or
mm,
they got to send it back and
nah,
say you need a new law for this.
nah. They would use like the straight up thing like, was it your body that did it? Okay, your body is going to jail. Your body murdered some people, so they're going to jail.
Okay, and we'll end it. We'll
Who's
end it
watching?
on this. We'll end it on this. If your body is,
Oh, you definitely going to jail.
you never, I'm gonna put you under the jail. Super
Yeah.
megan max.
Oh, bro, there's no trial at that point. It's just
No trial.
straight. Oh God. Oh God. I think it's falling. I'm falling apart over here. Hold on. Hold
Yeah.
on. The balance wasn't balancing like I thought it would. Thank you, my wonderful wife, being an assistant, give me props to prop up the camera here.
He did
You know,
it.
tuning in on the stream one
Oh,
time for the
appreciate you,
support.
right?
You know,
Right.
um, but yeah. If you brown, you down. That's it.
Brown, right, yeah. Yeah.
Don't get us started on the Tony versus Cap conversation. Um, that's a whole nother stream, a whole nother
Hold on,
fireside.
stream. Yeah, yeah. We'll do that next on another
Yeah,
fireside.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Who was
Right.
wrong?
The rabbit
Right.
hole, get rabbit hole.
Yeah, the nerd edition.
I mean, we did a lot of it already. You know,
Yeah,
we
but
we got.
we've held back for we've done a phenomenal job on not going down all the rabbit holes. All the
I'll take some notes. I'll
yeah.
take notes from Z, what she tells me tells me later on. Like, yo, yeah, you guys. Let me just give you some notes on what you
Yo,
guys
this was
talked
this
about.
was this was phenomenal for us. It's phenomenal for us.
Oh, no complaints from me.
No complaints. All right, let me end this before more of the people started asking. When you just talked about your wife, if that's for boyfriend or girlfriend,
Oh, I
boyfriend,
mean,
boyfriend.
but
If you
it
if
doesn't
you
matter,
if
and
you
it's
started the
2026.
stream, yeah, if you started the stream, then you could, yeah, you probably think something different.
It's 2026. People. Well, once again, we'll go back to homegirl from your post just earlier today.
You have right.
You know,
Usually,
just want to go back and be gay with your friends.
yeah. The problem is you can't see how actually guys just chill and talk. It's got to
I
go
mean,
that direction.
you know what, Tim? We do love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, in the most hetero way possible. Sorry, sorry, you don't have a hetero bro in your life.
You
Yeah,
could do, yeah, you did well with them, right?
yeah,
Either way,
yeah.
if
You
you
need
want
a
to see
hetero
more
bro.
more hetero bro love, subscribe to the channel.
Good night.
Later, bro.
Later. All right.